I'm Phil.
I'm Randy.
I'm Vincent.
And you're watching Word of Mouth.
Everyone's a little bit racist. Alright, 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 alright. Bigotry has never been exclusively white. If we all could just admit that we are racist a little bit, even though we all know that it's wrong, maybe it would help us get along.
Avenue Q is a tale of puppets and humans who are post-college or postgraduate in some cases in that world, and they're all coming to live in this area of New York, which is kind of depressed because it's about all they can afford, and they're all starting out in life.
So this character Princeton comes in to Avenue Q, to this kind of dilapidated outer borough street, looking for an apartment to rent. He's just out of school, out of college, and he meets a bunch of new friends who live there.
The only thing I heard was a puppet show, and I'm thinking of the puppet shows like they have in Sicily, you know, with the marionettes. But this was a puppet show. But at first, I didn't understand why they had puppets if they had actors. But then I realized why. They gave the actors a chance to be silly, to say things that you wouldn't normally say in a play.
I expected what I saw, which was a really fun, adult, you know, it was kind of like this old-fashioned musical, but with these great, you know, Sesame Street type puppets.
I mean, my expectations were that it was going to be funny, and it was. I mean, I had a laugh. It's a very cute show. They make fun of everybody. They make fun of people for being different, and we're all different, so everybody's laughing.
The set reminded me of, I come from Brooklyn, sections of Brooklyn, old Brooklyn in the 30s and the early 40s, old buildings.
The puppets are mostly very colorful and eye-popping. The humans that are working the puppets are all dressed in gray so as not to detract from what you're supposed to be looking at. And to their credit, I really was looking at the puppets, even though the human performers are standing right next to them.
I thought Lucy was very funny. She was the sexy one, to put it bluntly. It was funny. They all are funny, but she kind of stood out a bit.
Rod's roommate, Nicky, was my favorite character. He was just so much fun, and he wanted to support his friend. Well, his friend Rod is a closeted homosexual puppet who is trying to come out of the closet, and his friend is trying to support him.
My favorite character was Christmas Eve, who is the Asian woman who lives in the apartment building and is married to one of the losers who lives there, who can't get a job. She's just very fresh and obviously doesn't mind playing a caricature of what a Japanese person who moves to New York would be like.
This is actually one of the first musicals I've left where you kind of are humming some of the songs as you leave. But they all have a message, a lot like the Sesame Street songs have a message in them.
You know, the best song is "Everybody's a Little Bit Racist," and you're laughing because it's really true. Everybody is a little bit racist, and that that non-politically correct humor is very funny.
The music was good. I found it a bit loud sometimes, though, and I couldn't hear some of the words.
It's not the kind of music that is really going to stir you or move your heart. It's more the kind of cutesy music that moves the story along and tells a joke and gets the point across.
I think it's popular because it's a light show. It's just fun. The music's really good. It's a little different with, you know, the puppets. I
hadn't had it recommended to me. I knew it won the Tony a couple of years ago for Best Musical, and I could see the fact that it's very original is a big plus because there's not a lot on Broadway that is quite that unique.
There was a lot of people in their 20s that were in there that really had a great time. So I think it's good for kind of that age range. If you don't go to musicals a lot, this is something that's it's not your typical musical, so it's a little bit more raw and a little bit more fun for that age group.
At first, I was confused, but I liked it. It was humorous. The only thing is, it was for adults. I wouldn't have brought my teenage grandchildren, but I would have brought my best friends.
I brought my 12-year-old, and the show advertises itself as being for 12 and up, But I have to be honest with you, it is very much an R-rated show. And had I known that there were going to be a few words and actions in there beforehand, I'm not sure that she would have been the choice to bring.
I would recommend the show to adults, you know, someone with a good sense of humor, or somebody looking for a good laugh, you know, but you've got to accept what they're showing you and laugh at it.
I would recommend this show to anybody over the age of 16. But it's a really great show. It's a show I think to see now in between the fall and spring shows if there's not a lot out right now to go check out. This is one if you haven't seen to go check out.
If you were gay, I'd shout, hooray! I am not and here I'd stay. But I wouldn't get in your way. You can count on me to always be